Shalom. Shalom, fam. Shalom. It's a nice day out here. It's windy though. Should have had to put the long sleeve under the fringed up shirt. Thank the Almighty. Thank the Almighty. Anything you want to thank the Almighty for? Just put in the comments while we wait our 5 minutes to get people on. Guess I'll start off. Definitely thank the Almighty for today. Beautiful Sabbath. For all you Sabbath keepers, it's a nice day to meditate on the Holy Scriptures, watch some services, call some brothers and sisters you haven't heard in a while, check on their welfare, see how they're doing, seeing if they need help, maybe some prayers, maybe some words of encouragement. Amen. Cool, cool, cool. So, definitely thank the Almighty. Thank the Almighty for wife, children, all the people that's got wife and kids that they're still there. There's some people's wife that didn't make it, some kids that didn't make it, some husbands that didn't make it, and really be appreciative. Sometimes, even the small things, like being happy to walk, when the Almighty, you know, got me, my back, I thank the Almighty. I wasn't able to walk for like 2 days, and then just me being able to walk, get back in the gym, go beast mode like usual. That's my default settings. Um, really be able to be function. That's a major blessing. Just knowing that someone, uh, a guy that I actually like, Flex Wheeler, they call him the Sultan of Symmetry. He's an old school bodybuilder, super clean too. He had an aneurysm or something, a blood clot or air clot in his leg, and they had to amputate his leg. So you imagine one day you're walking and everything, and the next day you're in a wheelchair, you know, just in one day, out of nowhere. Healthy individual, he had some kind of clot in his leg, and they had to cut it off, so or was going to kill him. So, just thanking the Almighty. I know we say, oh, thank the Almighty for roof and for food and for, but really, that could be taken away very quick, So I thank the Almighty for employment. Thank the Almighty that we have the mindset, all the people that's walking circumspectly, the mindset to um, spend the money with wisdom and being a good steward. Not only your tithes and offering, if you don't have a congregation, use your tithes and offering. Go feed the homeless. You know what I'm saying? If you have a tithe, you have a congregation, then you put that, hey, give unto the Almighty. It's not giving it to no pastor, none of that foolishness. Give unto the Almighty, have faith in that, and you give it unto the Almighty. And then hopefully, whatever congregation you got or camp or whatever they call themselves, um, they use it wisely and it's to the edifying of the body and whatnot, especially dealing with persecution. Your congregation should have some food store and water store lined up for the congregation. But besides that, um, uh, you know, after tithes and offering, that even being a good steward, you know, uh, I make pretty good money, and I have a J3 Prime. I always buy a J3 Prime. They cost $80, $90. If the screen breaks, I spend $34 or $20 on Amazon. I buy the screen, I take it to the place, I pay them $20. They fix the screen. I've broke this phone like 5 times. This is like my sixth screen, and yeah, it's an $80 phone. And I try not to push. I'm not hurting for money, and I could easily go right now, go get me a $1,200 phone, but I'd rather deal with what's going on in the world. I'd rather buy assets. I'd rather get self-sufficient and even having that wisdom, because some people, they want the newest phone just to have the newest phone. They want the nicest watch. I get nice watches that look good. I don't really wear too much jewelry, but my nice watch, I get them from Target and they look clean. I like how they look. I don't go for a name brand. I'm not trying to impress the world. My kingdom's out of this world. It cost me like $25, but it's a nice little watch. It gets the job done when I need to tell time. You know what I'm saying? I don't really wear jewelry because I want to be an example, because a woman can't wear jewelry. But, even that wisdom in and of itself is how we spend our money is different than how the world spends their money. How the rich people spend the money is different. How the rich people buy assets. You know what I'm saying? I buy land. I build houses. I buy food. I buy water. And I save that stuff because that's going to be an asset in the future. You know what I'm saying? I I plan. I do not just spend. I I don't spend money just to have something shiny or just to have something. I'm trying to build generational wealth. I'm trying to leave an inheritance to my children. Does not help my kids in the long run. It's going to depreciate. These batteries, you can't even take them out. So after 2 years, Guess what? Your battery doesn't charge, man. I gotta charge my phone. My battery, I got this $1,200 phone, and 2 years later, the battery only lasts like a half a day. I gotta buy a new one. There's another $1,200. Or how about you do what Simon does, and oh, you buy this 2017 phone for 80 bucks, and guess what? Oh, I just buy a new battery on Amazon for $20. Oh, when this gets too old, oh, I'll just buy a new battery. You know what I'm saying? What about that? But no, that's not flashy. That's not, I'm not impressing no one. I'm not, appeasing the world. I'm not, and that's cool. You want to spend your money on some rims and some systems, and you want to do that. When I have 100 bands in my bank account, then maybe I'll consider treating myself or something like that. But until then, I thank the Almighty that He gave me wisdom, even on how I spend my money, how I deal with my finances, and what I invest my money into. You know what I'm saying? I just live real minimalist. We don't. I treat the family. Yeah, my family's pretty spoiled. Sister Whitney, she's living lavish. She ain't hurting for anything. You know what I'm saying? But as far as myself, I don't really, other than supplements and stuff like that. Every once in a while, I'll give me some clothes or something. But I'm trying to get ready for persecution. I know what's coming, and I'm gonna be dealing with the news today. How much time we got? So we got. Oh, I went past the 5 minutes, but I thank the Almighty for the wisdom. Thank the Almighty for today. Thank the Almighty for you guys, you faithful people on the Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Many are called, a few are chosen. I appreciate the few souls that watch. May it continue to grow. And may I continue to be a blessing. May the Almighty continue to give me the words so I can bring forth to you guys and edify you guys and comfort you guys and convict you guys and strengthen you guys, and that you may grow and get your roots grounded. So when the wind comes and the storm comes, you'll be able to stand. I appreciate you guys, Facebook and YouTube. That's been the faithful few. I thank you. Hopefully, you guys be pillars for the next generation, where they could come to you and you can impart their wisdom. You women, to the younger woman, can impart your wisdom to these new wives or these new women, and to you men, to these new fathers or to these new husbands. You can impart your wisdom on the next generation that's coming up, going through marital problems or going through this or going through depression or going through suicidal thoughts or drug habits or overcoming sin. And you can impart your wisdom and strengthen these brothers and sisters to where they can make it, and they'll be able to stand in the days to come, the evil days to come. So I appreciate all these people. So let's get into some prayer before we start. Hopefully you sisters out there got your head covered. Hey, is the video pretty good? There's a reflection on the laptop, so I can't really see how good the video. Hopefully it's all right. Shalom, everyone. So let's do it. Heads covered for you women out there. Let's get it. Um, anyone want about heads covered? Turn to 1 Corinthians. It deals with women covering their head with their prayer prophesy. All right, let's go. Father, we come before you, whose name is Yah, who begot Yeshua, the only begotten of the Father. Thank you, Almighty, for this holy Sabbath. Thank you for this opportunity, for this word to go forth, for us to fellowship, for us to even type these words and encourage one another. May the word go forth and touch people's heart. May it get off the pages and get into our bones and get into our heart and get into our mind. May we will love you with all of your heart, with all our mind, with all our soul, with all our strength. Let's continue to grow in you. And all these things we pray in Yeshua's name. Let it be so. All right, cool. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome to True Hebrews United of the Lord Yeshua. This should be love, holiness, instructor, discipleship. Joe Sergeant about to get into the book as usual. Definitely give all honor to the Almighty Yah through His Son Yeshua HaMashiach, the only begotten of the Father. All those that believe in Him, that repent from their sins, shall receive the gift of the Ruach HaKodesh. It's the seal of salvation, your VIP ticket into the kingdom and into eternal life. Thank double honor to all the apostles, prophets, evangelists, teachers, elders, bishops, and deacons across the whole world, teaching and living and persuading people to repent from their sins and be a part of the body of Mashiach. All the brothers and sisters across the whole planet keeping the Almighty's commandments, statute, judgments, precepts, and ways out there. It's a tough way, but His yoke is easy and His burden is light. We will hit forks in the road. We will hit that trial of faith. We will go through the fire, the furnace of affliction, but we will come forth as pure gold as long as we keep the faith into the end. We don't got to live holy long just until He comes back here. We don't got to live holy long just until we die. You know what I'm saying? So let us keep pressing to serve the Most High with all of our heart. So with all that said being done, let's let the fingers do the walking and the scriptures do the talking. See, man, I'll be getting down on the vocals. So it's going to be a little short one today because I do need to bring the news. So let's go ahead and get right into the book. Second Corinthians chapter 6. 2 Corinthians chapter 6. We're going to start at verse 14. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, starting at verse 14. I've dealt with this a while, but I'm going to hit it from a different point of deception. I'm going to bring deception to a whole new level. So let's get it. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship righteous with unrighteous? What communion light with darkness? There's so many levels to this scripture. I'm gonna keep reading right now. And what concord have Amashiach with Belial, which is an unbeliever, or what part have he that believeth with the infidel? With the unbeliever, you're believing in an infidel. Check this out. And what agreement have the temple of the Most High with idols? And or you are the temple of the living Yah, as Yah hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their Yah, and they shall be my people. So it says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship righteous with unrighteous? What communion light with darkness? I like that scripture. But so many levels. It could go to obviously, when you come to the Most High, you got to cut your gang banging friends or your friends that's living in sin, going to clubs, whatever. You got to cut that stuff out. If you can't come and pray together, like they come to your house and you're trying to pray or whatnot, but going and just playing video games or going just hanging out with these people, that stuff's got to cut, because they're going to draw you away and they're going to get you off your steadfastness. Two, another way is, I noticed that especially you people without congregations, be careful when you're going through trials. You need to find counsel in godly people and righteous people and people keeping the commandments. The first thing they do is they go to mom, the sister, brother, and they don't go to no one serving the Most High. That's still being unequally yoked, whether or not you're physically in their situation. If you're going, man, you won't believe what happened, and you're getting counsel and you're back and forth, or you're venting and you just need someone to let this stuff off your chest, you're going through depression or you're going through whatever, seek a person that's keeping the commandments of the Most High first. That's first and foremost, because they're going to give you godly counsel. They're going to give you righteous counsel. They're going to give suggestions based off of biblical principles. So even that in and of itself is still being unequally yoked. You people out there that's trying to look for a congregation, hey, this is True Hebrews United. You can reach us at 619-501-1375. I am Teacher Simon. I am not the only one on the planet. Find the one that's nearest to you. If you can't, and I'm the only one, then hey, the Almighty answers your prayers if you're looking for a congregation. So back to the main story is, hey, don't be unequally yoked with these unbelievers. They will get you off your steadfastness. There's a reason why he put this commandment in the Bible, because he knows the danger. It's no different of you being around someone with Ebola. The likelihood of you being around them and healing them, whether you feed them water or whether you comfort their wounds or whether you give them IV, the likelihood of them infecting you is greater than the likelihood of you bringing health to them. And that's the same thing with being unequally yoked with unbelievers. This is why he says, hey, don't make any dealings with these people. He told Israel, don't make any, because next thing you know, you're going to serve their false gods. And sure enough, they start marrying one another, they start being around another, and they start, oh, your God did that. Well, our God got us out of Egypt. Oh, your God created the storms and the tornado or whatnot. They get them off their step. Now the next thing you know, they're serving idols. And then they got sent to Babylon. They got put into captivity. They got pestilence, famine. All this stuff happened to them because they kept being unequally yoked. So let's keep going. Verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Almighty, and touch not the unclean things, and I will receive you, and I will be a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Almighty, the Yah, the Almighty, right? So that's a good promise. For me to be saved, or me to be a child of the Most High, I would have had to come out from among them, be ye separate, and touch not the unclean thing. So all you people that's first time watching, watch True Hebrews United. On the YouTube, go to Archime's Foundations of Salvation. It's an 8-part series. You got to do that. That's mandatory. If you could get that down, then there's no stopping you from being saved. So it says, hey, that's how we would be. You got to come out from among these people. You got to, separate you free. Give more time. I know people that's believe but they talk to their family members and they talk to their old friends more than they talk to people the most high. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Have you called brother so and so? Oh, well, yeah. But then they talk to their family members or their friends or their coworkers on the job all the time. But when it comes to talking to brothers or sisters, they don't talk to them. They don't call them. You're unequally yoked. You're breaking that commandment. You're unequally yoked because there's no way you're giving all this time. What if brother so and so is suicidal? What if sister so and so was going through it? She had a death. Her mom just died, and her faith is failing. She's stopping to have faith in the Most High, and she needs your encouragement. But you rather go talk to some lady on your job. You rather go hang out with family member over there, do all this, than call your sister and call your brother and see their welfare. And then you don't think you're unequally yoked. You're unequally yoked. Well, let's keep going. Verse 7. When it took me out. Chapter 7. Sometimes we got to get off our own problems and realize other brothers and sisters got problems too. It may not be as worse than yours, but you can still encourage them, or it may be worse than yours and you can still encourage them. Even if you're going through it 3 times worse than this brother. You know what I'm saying? For it's like this. My struggle and what I'm going through could be 5 times worse than what he's going through. But in his mind, this is a Mount Everest to him. Even though my Mount Everest is really Mount Everest, this dude is just like, oh, I'm sick. You know what I'm saying? And I can't miss 3 days of work, man. Money's already tight. What am I going to do? This and this and this. But me, it's like, man, I got terminal cancer. But you could still encourage this brother, regardless if his situation is worse than yours. That brother could still use some counsel. That brother could still use some love. That brother could still have some support. That brother could still have someone, hey, I got your back. I'm praying for you. I'm hoping I'm in your corner. Call me if you need me. Even though I'm going through it. That's how we grow in the Most High. That's how we bear one another's burdens. That's how we show true love. In the midst of my struggle, I could still dish out love to brothers and sisters. I could still dish it out. That's how you be a pillar of the Most High. That's how you be a strong brother and sister in the Most High. So let's keep going. Verse 1. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all infirmities of the flesh, meaning repent from sin, perfected holiness in the fear of the Most High. So I want to deal with my main point is be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, what communion righteous with unrighteous, what communion light with darkness. So another thing we have is it's a big problem on Facebook with you women out there. Quit marrying brothers that aren't saved. Like, I'm dealing with you women out there because 1, they could get more than one wife, but 2, you're left with that kid. You're left a single parent mother. And sometimes child support just don't cut it because child support ain't covering the daycare or ain't covering the job you could get or the college you could go or the studying you can't do, and your opportunities is limited because you decide, because he has some fringes on and he says shalom 5 times fast, that he must be saved, and you rush in some unequally yoked marriage, and it's to your ruin. It's to your ruin. And yeah, dudes are wrong for marrying sinner girls too. And there's some people out there that's dating some women that ain't saved, knowing they ain't saved. No, if they're not baptized in truth, you can't date them. Period. It says only in the Almighty. If you have problems, turn to 1 Corinthians. It deals with marriage, or 2 Corinthians. It deals with marriage. I believe chapter 7. It's either second. I think 2 Corinthians chapter 7. So actually, I can find that out right now. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Since we're already in Corinthians. Yeah, there we go. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. You could go 39 through 40 for dealing with marriage. You only can marry people serving the Most High. So let's get me 1 Corinthians chapter 6. We're going to start at verse 8. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 8. It says, but brethren, go to law with one another, and that before the unbelievers. No, we'll go with verse 8. I'm sorry, I was reading verse 6. Nay, you do wrong and you defraud, and that your brethren, they're defrauding their brethren. Check this out. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived. Don't be deceived, man. Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate. An effeminate's guy that be having girly tendencies and whatnot. They may not be gay, but they be acting gay. They have girly tendencies, wearing Daisy Dukes and all this stuff, man. Leave that stuff alone. So, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. Those are the faggots. You know what I'm saying? Nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. These people ain't going to make it. It says don't be deceived. The reason why I say that is because now is the time that you will meet so many false brethren. You will meet so many people that say they believe, but their standards and their convictions is so low that you can't even separate them from the world. They still listen to music that they shouldn't. They still listen and watching movies they shouldn't. They still dressing the same. They say, how you have holy sisters wearing a ton of makeup on when it says shame faces and sobriety? You ain't even supposed to have makeup and jewelry on. How you have these women going all out showing cleavage, but they holy women? But you have these Amish women, not in truth, covered up their boobs. You have these Muslim women, not in truth, covered up their boobs. You have these Catholic nun, not in truth, covering up their boobs. But you have supposedly holy sisters showing their cleavage. But you have these congregation or these church or whatever, this false religion and falsehood on their way straight to the lake of fire. You know, it's hanging on my camera's on the straight branch right now. Anyways, going straight to the lake of fire, but yet you say you in truth and you making it to the kingdom showing all your skin. Showing all your skin. It says don't be deceived. These people, they ain't gonna inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Let's keep going. Give me Galatians chapter 5. Galatians chapter 5. And we're gonna start at verse 19. We're almost done actually. Galatians chapter 5, verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft. You people with horoscopes, leave that stuff alone because that's connected to witchcraft. You observer of times. Hatred, variance, immolation, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murderers, drunkenness, and doing drugs and weed and all that stuff. A lot of these shalom brothers be smoking weed. No, your body's not meant for no weed. Your lungs ain't meant for smoking your lungs. Quit being stupid and justifying weed. You a sinner. Let's keep going. Revilings. Watch out with that cussing. Watch out with that gossip. Watch out with that talebearing. Watch out with that verbally abusive. Watch out with that mouth. That mouth will condemn you. You will get judged for every idle word that proceedeth out of your mouth. Let's keep going. And such of this which I tell you before, as I have told you also in time past, they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Now, why am I bringing this up again, dealing with these sins? Then with don't be deceived, these people will not make it, because these will be the same people that will fellowship with you in fringes, keeping the Sabbath, not even eating pork, saying shalom 5 times fast, but they live it in sin, and they're going to get you off your steadfastness. Oh, well, it doesn't really take that much, all this, and and they'll use all these things to get you off. They are the most dangerous people because I could spot a sinner on the job site. Oh, look how she dressed, or look how this guy's smoking weed, or look how he's cussing, or look how they gangbanging, or look how he's drunk, or look how these people at the club. You could do it, but the ones that will get you off will be the ones that you think are holy, the ones that you think are righteous, the ones that go to your congregation. Not all of them, because there's wolves in sheep clothing. And then if there's a congregation in truth, the filter is pretty. When a congregation gets so big, or when they're not in truth, the filter is like this big. You know what I'm saying? Anyone can sneak through the cracks. Oh, just come everyone, come everyone. Everyone sneaks through the crack. But when you're in truth, that filter is tight. That filter is real tight. It will take a real deceitful person to fake their way in a congregation of truth, unless it's a large size. Then you could sneak in the cracks because no one really knows you. It's 30, 40 people. You say shalom and whatnot. You go home. No one really deals with you. No one really calls you. Maybe their cohesiveness is not that good. You can sneak through the cracks. But if they're in truth, there's no sneaking through the cracks. It'll be real hard for you to do that. You know, in the book of Acts, there are congregations all around. They were under persecution. A lot was going on. It was easy for them to say they're a believer, and they were sneaking through the cracks real easy. But nowadays, it's like either you live holy or you don't. Either you're going to live righteous or you won't. You know what I'm saying? And fringes just don't cut it. Saying shalom just don't cut it. Not eating pork just don't cut it. And keeping the Sabbath just don't cut it. Those things just don't cut it. They think just because you do those things that you cool. No, you ain't cool. There's a lot to do with serving the Almighty and living righteous and not cool. Like if you don't call your brother. Yeah, you wrong. What is in you why you refuse to check up on your brothers and sisters when it says the second greatest commandment is love thy neighbors, you love thyself? That's the second greatest commandment, and you're not keeping it. See, though, something so little as not calling your brothers to see how they're doing. That shows you can't be keeping the second greatest commandment. So the only time you come to congregations, oh, shalom, how you doing? Right after service, boom, you go on to the football game. You go on to playing Call of Duty. Right after service. You don't love your brother. Don't lie. Yeah, I do. No, you don't. You don't. Love is an action. You don't show no actions to your brother, then you don't love him. Because he says, if you love me, what? Keep my commandments. That's an action. If you love the Most High, keep my commandments. Oh, I love him, even though I don't keep his commandments and I'm smoking weed, committing adultery, telling lies, and I still love him. No, you don't. Because love is an action. Keep my commandments. Oh, I love my brothers at my congregation. I love them. I got much love for them. You don't call them. You don't come visit them. You don't pick them up. You don't try to hang out with them. You don't see how they doing. They could be going through. You don't do nothing with these. Only time you say talk to them is when you come to service, and yet you say you have love for your brother. The Bible in First John 3:16, hereby we perceive the love of the Almighty, how He laid down His life. We ought to lay down our life for the brother. So how you saying you love the brother? You put no action, no energy. When you want that girl, you're like, ah, man, that girl look good. I'm going to put some energy. I'm going to go to her and approach her. Oh, how you doing? My name is Silverback Simon, a.k.a. Muscle of the North Star, a.k.a. Doom Fist. I'm coming at you. I come at him like normal. You know what I'm saying? Normal. You know what I'm saying? So, bam, you get the number, right? You put energy. You put interest into that. After that, talk on the phone, chit chat. Go on a date. Go on another date. Go on another date. Go on another date. Because you have interest in that person, right? But you don't have interest in the brothers and sisters at the congregation. You don't have any interest because you put no energy into the brothers at the congregation. So how do you love the brothers at the congregation? How do you love the sisters at the congregation? Please explain that to me. When you put no energy, when you seen a girl or you seen a guy that you like, you put energy into that. When you seen a job you wanted, you put energy into that. But then when it comes to the brothers, you put no energy, no time into that. You invest nothing. Think about it. Let's keep going. So we're at Galatians chapter 5, verse 19. All right. Oh yeah, we read that already. So give me 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Back to 1 Corinthians again. Chapter 15. Start at verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Hopefully you guys are here with me. All right, cool. I'm going to read the comments. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, starting at verse 33. While you get that, I'll read some comments. Amen. Provide for your kids. I praise the Almighty for that testimony. Scriptures do the talking. Cool. All right. Let's get it. So, why are you laughing, Angel? Why are you laughing? Laughing at my introduction when I come through? So let's get it. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Once again, it says don't be deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So when you think that you could fellowship with family members or people on the job and whatnot, and you don't think there's going to be something they say that might rub some weigh on you to where your convictions get soft and where your judgment gets weak and you're not looking at things from a biblical perspective, because you could be emotional right now. Let's say angry, frustrated. You could be going through a situation right now and you call that family member, right? It could be your mom. You know what I'm saying? but your mom's not going to give you counsel based upon a biblical perspective. Like a perfect example. Sometimes people don't like talking to me about marriage because I push reconciliation. I'm going to push reconciliation because Adam and Eve broke communion with the Most High. And through Amashiach, he came back and reconciled the world unto himself. Israel became married to the Most High through Moses. Israel committed adultery and served idol gods. The Almighty divorced Israel and sent them into captivity. Sent 10 tribes into a land far off, into a land that's uninhabited. Could be the Aborigines in Australia, could be the Eskimos, whatever. I'm not dealing with no 12 tribe chart. But, and then Israel, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi pretty much went into Babylon, right? He came back and reconciled his marriage. Even though he says, I could go and marry another generation. He said, Ezekiel, if I sent you to someone else, they'll listen. But I got to send you back to my own people. So he reconciled, even though she played the whore. Our forefathers played the whore upon every hill, every tree, every nation, served every nation's God and played the whore. He came back and reconciled to his own people. And through our disobedience, the Gentile was able to get in. But he came and says, I'm not sent but to the lost sheep of Israel. And so he's the perfect example of marriage. And so if we're going to deal with marriage and you talk to your brother or your sister, yeah, man, this and this, man, you leave her, move on, this and that. That's because, brother, your brother's been married 3 times and your mom's been married 5 times and this been married 2 times and this never been married and this. Yeah, that's the world's standard. That's not the almighty standard. And so then you deal with marriage or whatnot, because I have a lot of conversations with different, like, over the course of my years, some people do not like the fact of reconciliation. Like, they almost detest the fact that the Almighty put that in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's so much easier to just move on than to try to rebuild. Sometimes the pieces of the vase is broken into powder to where it's not even like you're just gluing pieces of the marriage back together. You literally have to go on the molecular level and reconstruct the atoms just to get a piece and to put these pieces back together. It is so destroyed and broken to oblivion. You feel it will take years to just get back to the level it was before it got destroyed. And that's not including it's supposed to be growing and blossoming. It's so much easier to just start afresh with a whole new person than to reconcile and do. I get it. That's how the world thinks. The Almighty could have easily found another nationality. The Germans or the Russians, or he could have done that. If you read Ezekiel, he says, I'm not sending you to a strange language or a people you do not know. Because if I did send you, they will obey. But I'm sending you to your own people, which ain't going to hear you. I'm sending you to your own people that ain't going to obey. They're stiff-necked and they're hard-hearted. And Al-Mashiach still came back. And when the Gentiles say, hey, heal me, it says, heal my daughter. It's not meet for me to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. I am sent not but to the lost sheep of Israel. He still came back. So if he could do it, what makes things we're better than the Most High? What thinks we're better if he could humble himself down and still, even though Israel played the whore, and he could still reconcile, why can't we? Are we better than the Most High? And that's the thing with godly counsel. That's why you need to not be unequally yoked, because evil communications will corrupt good manners. They're not going to give you counsel based off the Bible because sinners don't live by the Bible. They don't live by the Almighty's laws, his statutes, his judgments, his commandments, and his ways. This is why it says, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manners. Don't be deceived. Don't, oh, well, you know, it's my mom or it's my uncle or he always had my back and he let me live with him. Yeah. On carnal things, they helped you out. When you need milk, that's carnal. Helped you out. Need a place to stay? Carnal. Helped you out. Need a job? Carnal. Helped you out. Salvation, they can't help you out. Spiritual, like marriage, because the Almighty created marriage, that's spiritual. They can't help you out. They can maybe help you with some tactics on how to love or how to treat or how to deal with argument. Maybe with some carnal things, with spiritual principles, they might. But when it comes to spiritual things going on, spiritual warfare, they can't help you out, not to the degree as a brother and sister that's mature in the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Not to that degree, but let's keep going. Hopefully you guys are with me. Not moving too fast. Let's get it. Give me Philippians. Oh, give me John. 3rd John chapter 6. Third John chapter 6. I mean verse 6. There's only one chapter. Yeah. So 3rd John verse 6. Which have borne witness of the charity before the congregation, in whom thou bring forward on their journey after a godly sort, that thou shalt do well. Because that which for his name's sake they went forth, taking nothing of the Gentiles. So he's talking about the people that went out to do the gospel. We therefore ought to receive such, that we might be fellow helpers to the truth. I wrote to the church, but to Diotrephes, who loved to have the preeminence, this is a brother, right? Among them received us not. Now this is a believer that didn't even want to receive the apostle, an apostle and the brothers that were with the apostle. Check this out. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doth, prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith, neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbidding them that would, and casting them out of the congregation. So these are false brethren that wanted the preeminence, and they got to the point where they even didn't want to receive the apostles. That's how deep that deception gets. And people that did want to receive the apostle, they were casting them out of the congregation, because they're receiving the apostles and the brethren that stood for the truth. This is why it says, be not deceived. These are people in the body, in deception. These people will be around you and get you off your steadfastness. Let's keep going, because I do have to hit the news. Going longer than I want. Galatians chapter 4. Galatians chapter 4. Galatians. Let's get it. Galatians chapter 4, verse 9. Let's get it. But now, after that you have known the Most High. So he's dealing, Apostle Paul's dealing with the Most High. Or rather, are known of the Most High, how you turn again to the weak and beggarly elements, wherefore you desire to be in bondage. You observe days, months, times, and years. And they'll use that to justify not keeping the feast days in Galatians. But no, they keep their January 1st. They keep their Valentine's Day and whatnot. He's dealing with these people. Well, let's keep going. I am afraid of you, lest I have bestowed unto you labor in vain. Brethren, I beseech you, be as I am, for I am as ye are. You have not injured me at all. You know that through the infirmities of the flesh I preached the gospel unto you at the first. At my temptation which was in my flesh ye despised not, nor rejected me, but received me as an angel of the Most High, even as Amashiach. Right? Check this out. Where then is then the blessedness ye spake of? For I bear a record that if I had been possible, you have plucked out your own eyes and have given them to me. So it says, hey, I preached unto you, and if you even took me as an angel, and if it was possible, you would have plucked out an eye and given it unto me when I came and preached unto you, right? Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Check this out. It says, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? They have zealously affected you, but not well. Yea, that I would exclude you that you might affect them. See, so he's saying, why have I become your enemy? When I first preached the gospel unto you, you took me as an angel. You would have plucked out your eye and given it to me. But someone, evil communication, corrupt good manners, be not deceived, right? Be not unequally yoked with unbelievers, for what fellowship righteous with unrighteous, what communion light with darkness. But someone has evilly affected you. to where me, the Apostle Paul, you're taking me as the enemy now. And I came to you and preached you the truth. Who have affected you this way? Who got into your mindset? Who gave you the counsel? Who turned your mind the wrong way? They're evilly affecting you, and you don't even see it. You are deceived. Your good manners are corrupted. Think about it. This is why it says the Almighty, He knows man, rather than sometimes we think we know what's best for ourselves. He puts these commandments in here for a reason. And he says, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Imagine, I would love to have half the information that the Apostle Paul had. I would love to have half of his revelation. I would like to do just 1/10 of the miracles the Apostle Paul did. The Apostle Paul went and did major miracles, had major truth and major understanding in the Gospels, and someone still was able to affect some of these Galatians to think that he was the enemy. Just think about that. Think about that. And I'm not even doing maybe even 1/100th of what this apostle was doing. This is be not deceived. Be careful who these brothers you roll with. Because if their convictions is soft, if their standards are low, their standards of holiness are low, man, they gonna get you off your steadfastness. He put this in there for a reason, to protect your own salvation. So let's keep going. 2 Peter. No, I'll be done because I gotta get the news. If you want to be 2 Peter chapter 10, chapter 2, 10 through 22, dealing with false brethren. He deals with false brethren. But let me get the shout outs real quick. I want to keep this I gotta hit the news. So let's get it. Shout outs to all the people. We got Kovesh, Angel, Buron Champ, Johnny, Marjorie, Katura, Kamari, Ariel, Zahara, and Nava Kashet. All right, cool. So shout outs. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Want you guys to make it into the kingdom. Praise the Almighty. So let's deal with some news. All right. They keep pumping these stimuluses out. They're going to make the dollar to collapse. It's going to collapse right at the same time as digital currency comes out. Now, I'm not no prophet, but because they keep pumping these stimuluses out, not only with the hyperinflation and the dollar collapse, and they come out with this new currency, with this type and shout of this beast currency, but the people that used to work at the chicken coops, the people that used to work at restaurants, they're not coming back to work because they got the stimulus. They said there are businesses that it's hard to find employees, even though they said they'll pay them more. They don't want to come back because they're making more money off the stimuluses and whatnot. So, which is leading to more of these jobs are going to get automated. Remember, like even chicken farms, all this stuff is going to get automated, which is going to lead to people not having jobs. Now, which leads to them doing monthly paychecks, which they're testing that out in LA. And I think there's other places they're testing that out. And, we're going to just give monthly payments because they want to get you on monthly payments. They want to cripple the majority of people and get them on monthly payments. So now they have dominion because you live off of them. They are your God. They are your provider. So what does that lead to, right? It leads to the monthly payments. It leads to you owning nothing. It will lead to you owning nothing. You guys already know about the Agenda 21 or the Agenda 2031 and whatnot, or the Great Reset. Might want to look up the Great Reset, the transfer of wealth, and these elites are going to have more power and people's going to be more poor. They're going to give it to where everything's automated and you're just getting monthly checks from a government and he has rule. So what happens when a full digital currency comes on the scene? Because with Biden doing printing out money and hyperinflation and just breaking the dollar, right? It goes digital currency. Everything's digital, right? Oh, I could pay with my phone. So now everything I have is tracked, right? Oh, guess what? Guess what they could already do? They could already freeze your bank account. If you go to the bank right now and you say, hey, I want to get out $50,000, some of them will have to report it, or they'll freeze it. There's a guy that went to jail because he just tried to cash a check and then they didn't think it was his, and they actually arrested this dude. He ended up suing the bank and whatnot. But they'll freeze your account. So if everything's digital and they freeze your account and you cannot get cash, you cannot purchase things because everything's digital. Do you know how powerless you are? Guess what? We passed a new law. If you don't take this vaccination, we're going to freeze your account. I'm not saying they will pass a law like that, but who's to say that's not coming? Look at what China's doing. If you get so many jaywalkers or you post something on the internet, whatnot, they ban you from traveling. They ban you from getting passports. They could say, hey, if you this and this and this, oh, just like they did with the gold. You had a certain amount of time to turn in your gold, and they may have gold illegal. You have a certain amount of time to turn in all your cash, or it's not going to be worth anything, and it's going to disappear, and we're not receiving it anymore. You got to convert your cash to digital currency. Now we have full control of what you do. I'm telling you, when digital currency, which the blockchain technology is not going anywhere, is getting ready, it's getting prepped, it's getting primed. When this comes on the scene, it's going to be hard for you guys. Get your passport before it's too late. Before they say, oh, we need a vaccination passport and all that. Hey, get all this stuff in order ahead of time now. You know what I'm saying? Have your plan B ahead of time now. Hey, don't be fooled. All this stuff is changing. It's all working to one global system and global control over everybody. You know what I'm saying? You'll have different districts, but global control. Don't be fooled with this. There's a reason why they're trying to break the dollar. It's the petrodollar. For them to go to digital currency as a world currency, they have to destroy the dollar. That has to be destroyed. They have to find that they have to find flaws in it to where no one wants that and they want something new. And guess what's going to come on the scene? Bam, something new. And now you have control. And pretty soon ATMs will be vanish away. You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon more and more countries will go digital. Pretty soon they'll get grants from other countries to help Zimbabwe or these other non-known on the map countries out there to help them catch up. And now they have global control. It's going down. You just don't see it. So be on your righteous game. Watch and pray lest these days catch you unaware. Get your stuff together. You guys need to get your passport. If you don't have a passport, it's very foolish of you. They're only $180. You know what I'm saying? I bet you spend more than $180 on a phone. Not me. But I bet you spend more than $180 on a phone. So if you could get a phone, then you could get a passport. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys got straight spending $120 because you got Netflix, this, Amazon, or what, all these cable channels and the 1,000 channels or whatnot. You spend all this money on cable and internet and whatnot, and then you don't have a passport. You should have the right to leave the country whenever you want. And by you not getting a passport, you are denying yourself of that right. There's a word called refugees. That's people that leave the country because the country is going through war or whatever, famine, whatever. If this country is getting too bad, you at least want to have the ability to leave. Whether you choose not to leave, which is very foolish, whether you choose not to leave, whatever. But you should have that ability. You should get your passport, get your kids a passport. It's an unwise move to not get your kids a passport. Get your kids a passport, get you a passport, and get in the game. Have your plan B set up. Because once this comes on the scene, and then everything's digital, now they have full control of what you buy, what you do, what you can buy, what you can't buy. They have control. When they freeze that account, then what? Well, it shows here you don't have your vaccination, so we freeze your funds until you could go get your vaccination at the local vaccination spot. I'm not saying that can happen, but it wouldn't be far-fetched if 3 years from now they do something like that. They wouldn't be too far-fetched. We already see China is leading the way in how they have totalitarian rule over their people. If all their stuff gets censored, if they have too if their good citizen score is low, they can't leave certain countries, they can't catch the subways, they can't get their passport. They are a slave unless they play by their rule, China's rules. They are a slave, and this is how it's going to be. So this is how the whole world is going to be. The best thing you could do is get you some assets, get you some land outside of the United States. You know what I'm saying? And get your stuff together. So hopefully that helps. You can look up The Great Reset. There's a book I want to buy on that, but I'm already behind that. There's so many books I got to read. But definitely look up that. Look up this inflation. Look up how they're sending out. They're going to be dishing out checks because they want the poor. Every month I get my check and that pays my rent. I just get my check every month. I get subsidies. I just get this. I get this. Yeah, because they got rule. You'll take whatever shot they want. You would eat whatever poison food they give you. You drink whatever poison water they give you. You'll buy for every wicked rule they set upon you. Well, hey, we're only giving out certain. If you don't believe in this and gay marriages or whatnot, then we're gonna affect this, or we're not gonna give you this, or we're. That's how they dangle that. That's how they dangle that carrot. They dangle that around you. Hey, it's getting tight. It's getting tight in the states. I keep saying this. Pretty soon, I'm just not even gonna have no sympathy for these people, man. I know. I share my videos. I hope this goes out. I've been saying this for years. Like, hey, it's getting tight. Hey, it's getting tight. Hey, it's getting tight. Hey, it's getting tight. But some people make some mistakes. We're gonna be having land pretty soon. We're gonna be selling quarter acre, half acre, and acre lots. I'm not here on this. I'm here to preach the gospel, but this is dealing with coming out of Babylon spiritual principle. True Hebrews Unite is setting up on the scene. Hopefully by the end of this year, we'll have lots of land for sale in Belize. So brothers and sisters that want to get out of Babylon, if you're interested to get out of Babylon, there's a way. We've been doing it. We've been doing it going on 3 years. It is not as hard as what you think. You can make it. You can make it. You can't survive outside of Babylon. So it is possible to get out of the states and live a life with freedom and whatnot. So definitely we'll be having that for sale. That's dealing with coming out of Babylon. Hit me up, not on the Sabbath on that. Just hit me up, 619-501-1375. You can hit us up on the Messenger, the Facebook, the WhatsApp, and the Zoom. Hit us up on that. And, praise the Almighty. With all that said being done, keep standing. Don't drop standards. Shalom. Give the Almighty hand clap too. Shalom. I'm going to read some comments. All right, cool. Self-sustain is the goal. That's right. All right. All right, cool. All right. You guys are just talking regular stuff like usual. Shalom, guys.